Okay, so our vegetables are sauteed, and sauteed, you say tomato, I say tomato. But my version of saute is you want to see a little bit of translucent, see-through ability in the onions or the vegetables that you're sauteing. So if you look at my onions, you can kind of start to see that they're becoming opaque. They're losing its white color, and it's starting to become a little bit transparent. That's when you know they're good. I don't want to saute them to the part that it's completely mushy, because then you got too much mush. You got the palm mush, vegetables are mush, 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 mush. Nobody likes a mush. Maybe a mushy kitten is good, but nobody really likes a mush. So you want to have always different types of consistencies whenever you're eating something or making something. So the hearts of palm, you can have a little bit of crispy, you can have a little bit of chunky, a little bit of crunchy, and a little bit of mushy. So my vegetables are sauteed. I'm going to add my spices. And I'm adding my spices because the spices are really going to react well. I'm only adding about a teaspoon of each. So a teaspoon of Old Bay, a teaspoon of chili powder, and a teaspoon of onion and garlic. And I'm sauteing with the vegetables because I really want the vegetables to pick up on that flavor. Also, whenever you cook a spice, you're really bringing out the oils that are in the spice and the flavors that are present. I used to cook a lot of Indian food back in the day, and I learned that especially the Indian people, that's their philosophy, is to cook the spices and get everything out, get all the good oil and good flavors out. So everything's cooking in here, everything's getting married, a good marriage of flavors, right? So maybe another 30 seconds, 45 seconds, get that nice, it smells great in here. One day they will have an iPhone with a smell-a-thon-ish type of thing. I don't know. One day you'll Google it and you'll see my face that I created it. So now that you got all the spices and everything's kind of marrying, a little bit of liquid aminos, you're just deglazing the pan. You hear that sizzle? That's it. How much did I add? 2 tablespoons to be exact. Shut the heat. And that's it. See the way it deglazed the pan? It took all of the things that were at the bottom, all the spices and the onions and things that were caramelized at the bottom. And whenever you deglaze something, whether you're deglazing with an alcohol or with any type of liquid, a stock, you're grabbing all that off the bottom and you're reincorporating it. So that's what deglazing is called. It's another culinary term. We're helping each other. I'm helping you, and then you like my fan page. So, what are we doing with this? With this, we're actually going to take it out of the pan. And so, why now am I not adding this to my hearts of palm? That's a good question. You're still not getting a job with me yet. Not yet. I'm taking it and I'm putting it into a bowl, and I want it to cool off. So, take a look at that and see it's cooling off because I don't want to add something that's hot to something that's not. Another safe food handling tip, I don't want to turn something bad. What could happen with this? This is cold, this is hot, still not ready to cook. That's one thing. Bacteria, very safe. I'm a very safe guy when it comes to cooking. The other thing is that I'm also going to add some other ingredients to this, and I don't want this hot stuff ruining my mixture. So cool this down. You can cool this down by putting this in the refrigerator, in the freezer, unless you have a lot of good coconut ice cream in there and you don't want to melt it. But definitely put this in the fridge and let it cool down a little bit. And we'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and this is the final phase of the palm cakes. And so what I have here is I have the vegetables. These are the vegetables that we sauteed before, right? So I cooled them down and explained to you why, so we don't put something hot into something cold. Here we have our vegetables. We have our hearts of palm, and this is something new I threw into the mix. These are the greens that are going to go in there. What I have here is some Italian parsley, and I have about a half of a bunch of Italian parsley, just the leaves. And then I have, I would say 3/4 of a bunch of scallions, just the greens, all right? And chop them up into about half a finger size, well, depending on who you are. It's about half of my finger. I don't know what kind of fingers you got. So, throwing that into my food processor, and You can chop it by hand if you like. I like the way it comes out in the food processor. So we're going to give this a nice rough chop. Let's check it out. Looks pretty good. A little bit more though. So just push it down on the sides, make sure you get everything. Alright, and we're good. So we're going to take this and we're going to add this at the end. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to add our vegetables, okay? Get everything. You don't want to lose any of this flavor. Okay, into the sink for the dishwasher. And we're going to mix this around, and we really want to incorporate, again, get all that good flavor. Okay? I know you're all getting excited. You're like, yes, the pound cakes, finally. This is my present to all of my fans over the years. Okay, so now you're saying to yourself, that's good, but that's not it. And you're right. So we're going to add the greens, okay? The greens, the scallions, the Italian parsley. I don't like curly parsley. Curly parsley doesn't have the flavor Italian parsley has. Italian parsley's got just that extra flavor that you need. Curly parsley is kind of like the iceberg lettuce of parsley. So you want that good flavor from the Italian parsley, okay? So, starting to come together. Okay, now, we're going to add some veganese. Whether or not you're vegan or not, it doesn't matter. Try the veganese. It's probably the most exceptional product as far as a vegan mayo on the planet. Really, really like the company. It's a good company. It's a sustainable company, and it's an excellent product. For 3 cans, for 3 28-ounce cans of hearts of palm, I'm probably going to use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of veganase. Veganase is, yes, you guessed it, it's going to act as the binder. It's going to hold it together much as you would an egg. An egg would also hold something like this together, but we're not using an egg, no way. So we're going to use the veganase instead. The other thing that we're going to add to it is we're going to add some breadcrumbs. Normally I would use a panko breadcrumb, but since we're doing this gluten-free, because I'm a very good-to-be son-in-law, I'm using Glutino. Glutino is another great brand. They make a lot of gluten-free stuff. They're actually only gluten-free, which means that you don't have to worry about on the back of the package saying maybe used in a facility that makes wheat or other items. They are dedicated, just like Kinnick. Glutino is a great brand to use. So I just seasoned my breadcrumbs up a little bit. I just put a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of black pepper in there. You know, because you want to kind of give it a little bit. Every ingredient should be seasoned, just like my vegetables were seasoned. You know, the breadcrumb too should be seasoned. So we put the veganase in. We're going to mix it together, and we're going to add some breadcrumb to it. And the breadcrumb is going to help to hold it together too. I would probably say about 3 tablespoons. And we're going to use our hands. Again, you know, going back to the old saying, best tools in the kitchen are your hands. So really get in there. Why are your hands the best tools in the kitchen? Because a spoon doesn't know what's going on at the bottom of the bowl. Your hands do, yes. So we're mixing it together. And I'm also putting that good energy into it too, that good love, because I really care about my food and I care about the people that eat it, whether they're family or whether they're my customers. And that's the truth. So, you know, if you get it and it's a little bit wet, it's possible that you didn't dry the hearts of palm once you took them out of the can, so it's possible there's a little moisture in there. Could be an after effect from the vegetables, so we're going to add some more breadcrumb to it.